Welcome back to Jeff's American Dream Car, where I was going to do a Christmas special with Scully, no less, but unfortunately, like most skeletons, he can't hold his liquor, and we couldn't do it. So we're back. It's been a while since I've done a video, and not because I haven't wanted to. It actually started a couple different times, just never really seemed to turn out the way I wanted. So hopefully you can enjoy this. We're going to kind of discuss today what I've been doing on the back end of the car. You can see the brakes and the differential, but let's get to it. So here we go. So the first thing that's real noticeable, of course, is the rear disc brakes that I went with. These are a set from Dr. Def. I've used, as a matter of fact, this whole rear differential is his setup. Bought the housing from him, the axles, so kind of makes sense. He's kind of engineered all this to go together here. Now, if you look over here, this is the calipers. And these are a little bit different than a lot of people use. A lot of people use the Cadillac Eldorado setup. There's some issues I don't like with them. They have a pretty big form factor, and they kind of limit your wheel size. So that's one of the reasons I went with this setup in particular. It's a 10-inch, so if I needed to, I could run 14-inch wheels. So not that I'm going to, but it's always nice to have that option. The thing that he uses here is this is a 94 to 04 Mustang Cobra rear caliper. So I like the fact that that's a factory part that if I needed to for some reason, I could replace it. The only upgrade that I really made is I did choose the slotted and drilled rotors. Probably will never drive the car hard enough to justify those, but hey, it looks cool, right? The only other upgrade that I did make myself is, you can see the brake pads here, the red. Those were not the ones that he sent with me. Those are actually an EBC red pad. That's actually the ones that they rate for things like muscle cars or heavier sports cars. So I went with those. I'm hoping they work. It's supposed to be a low dust formulation, and I can't think of anything else that would really do a better job. And I'm hoping those work out. The next thing you'll see back here is the springs. These are brand new units. These are ones that came from a place called Springs and Things. Hear good reviews about them. Kind of hard to judge right now. The car set's sort of high, but I don't have all the weight on it. Hopefully I don't have to have those re-arched, but that's another new part that I had going into the car. Now if you look up here, you can see I actually got to the undercoating here. So I've got the undercoating done to just front of the where the springs hang. I'll have to finish the rest of the car, but for the most part, everything's ready to go in. I can start running brake lines, fuel lines, and then put the fuel tank in now. And then, of course, here, kind of hard to see. Sorry for the light in the background there. You have the differential in, and again, we went with I was lucky enough to have a short grip unit, and we went ahead with 373s. And now, if you get down here, I ended up, as you can imagine, 50-year-old car parts do tend to break. So this is another shock mount that I put on. Mancini Racing sells these. I don't know that they're any different than anybody else's, but I thought since they were kind of a Chrysler store that I would go ahead and support them, and they should be more guaranteed to fit that way. The other part of this kit is, again, from Dr. Diff. If you look here, I'm going to switch angles here and show you what I have. So you can kind of see here, this is the best way to show it. This is the rear shackle. Now it's kind of like an S shape or a little curve to it. And the idea with that is that it's offsetting the springs to the inside. So that's giving me a lot more tire clearance, about an inch more for what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you the other side. I've got a stock tire mounted, and what that'll do is show you how much more room that I gained by doing this. So this here is a stock tire. Now this is a 245/60/14. If you look up here, it's kind of hard to tell. I've got a whole lot more room to put a much wider tire. The closest it's going to be is right here. Looks like I can go another full inch to the inside, which I'm pretty excited about. And I've heard rumors if you get the right tire brand, I can go all the way up to like a 315, and I'm really heavily considering that right now. A 275 or 285 won't be a problem. It's just a matter of figuring out my back spacing. But I think for today, that's going to be my video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So we'll catch you next time, and you have a great day. Bye.